Two galaxies can collide head-on at over 1,000 kilometers per second, and not a single star actually hits another star, yet the collision completely rewrites both of them. Galaxies are mostly empty space. If you scaled the Sun down to the size of a tennis ball, the nearest star would be another tennis ball tens of thousands of kilometers away. So when two galaxies interpenetrate, their stars almost always pass by unscathed. The real violence happens in the invisible. Gravity reshapes orbits, compresses gas clouds, and stretches entire galactic disks like cosmic taffy. Astronomers call these encounters galaxy interactions, and they come in many flavors: gentle flybys, slow spirals together, or catastrophic mergers that erase the original shapes entirely. As the galaxies approach, their mutual gravity is not uniform. The near sides feel a stronger pull than the far sides. This difference is called a tidal force, the same basic effect that gives Earth its ocean tides, but scaled up to hundreds of thousands of light years. These galactic tides yank stars and gas out into elongated streams called tidal tails. Some tails can stretch over 1 million light years, longer than the Milky Way is wide. Orbits that were once nearly circular around each galaxy's center become chaotic, plunging and looping through the combined gravitational field. To an observer over hundreds of millions of years, the galaxies seem to grow antennae, bridges, and twisted arms, as if the disks are being physically shredded. The gas inside galaxies does not get off so easily. Unlike stars, gas clouds actually collide, ram into each other, and slow down. When giant molecular clouds, vast reservoirs of hydrogen tens of light years wide, are squeezed by tidal forces and shockwaves, their internal gravity can suddenly win. They collapse into compact knots, forming thousands of new stars at once. This triggers what astronomers call a starburst, a brief, intense phase of star formation where a galaxy can create stars 10 or even 100 times faster than the Milky Way does today. Famous systems like the Andromeda Galaxies are essentially galactic fireworks displays, converting cold gas into blazing, short-lived massive stars that will explode as supernovae after only a few million years. Over time, dynamical friction, the gravitational drag as billions of stars tug on each other's orbits, robs the galaxies of orbital energy. Their centers sink together and eventually coalesce. The beautiful spiral structure, which depends on ordered rotating orbits, is scrambled. What emerges is often a single larger galaxy, more three-dimensional and puffy, an elliptical galaxy. These are the cosmic graveyards of star formation. Much of the cold gas has been used up in earlier starbursts, or heated and blown out by supernovae and central black hole activity. The result is a smooth, reddish system dominated by old, long-lived stars with little raw material left to build new ones. At the heart of each original galaxy, there was almost certainly a supermassive black hole, millions or billions of times the mass of the Sun. During a merger, these black holes sink to the center and form a binary, orbiting each other as they gradually lose energy through interactions with surrounding stars and gas, and eventually, in theory, through gravitational waves. When the infalling gas feeds them, they can ignite as quasars or active galactic nuclei, outshining the entire host galaxy and launching jets that can heat or expel gas on scales of tens of thousands of light years. In this way, galaxy collisions not only reshape stellar orbits, they can regulate whether future stars can form at all. On the largest scales, repeated collisions and mergers are how the universe builds its biggest structures, from massive ellipticals to entire galaxy clusters. And our own Milky Way is not exempt from this slow-motion demolition derby, which leads to an even more intimate collision story, much closer to home.